Bill. Thank you, Bob. Scott is closing bell. All right, Larissa, Alon, Bob, Ernest, George, Kumari, Mason. Let's start then. Oh, we have Discord. All right, let's start. Welcome to Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. And today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, it involves risk, not suitable for everyone. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept it in order to invest in current market conditions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education and information purposes. All right, trading psychology is important. I encourage you to have a trading plan. I encourage you to have a trading journal. In the trading plan, I would always write down all of my orders, right? All of my trades, and have a checklist, right? So before I place an order, I would have to go through a checklist. What are some of the parts of the? What are some of the most important parts of the checklist? Is number of positions, right? I propose not to have more than 4 positions. And then the second checklist, the second check is what is the maximum exposure? So I would put down no more than 2.5%. So if you're doing day trading, it should be less than 1%. And if it's you're holding position overnight, less than 2.5% of account value at risk. Right? There's other, I propose other checklists. I mean, it just depends on your type of trading. There's no universal list. A lot of it has to do with your personality, right? How much risk you're willing to take, right? Liquidity is important, right? Maybe only trading stocks that have weekly options and, didn't ask trades in pennies, right? That could be one checklist. If you're trying to go long the market or short the market, wait for 2 to 3 days to confirm the trend change, right? Maybe allow more time, allow more space. I always translate strikes into equity. So that's a trading plan and trading journal. Then if you didn't break any, if you did the checklist and you placed the trade based on your A and B, based on the outcome. If you fall into the pit of risk aversion, right, prospect theory, where you care about your losses a lot more than you care about your gains, which is we all deal with on a daily basis, then you would put C or D, right? C or D, because if you're at any given point position was down more than 2.5%, then you would give yourself C or D. And the goal is not to have C's and D's, not to fall into prospect theory and risk aversion. All right. In terms of okay, so we did do the put spread Dollar Tree. So I call spread, I never got filled. I did get a put spread. Dollar Tree is down. So let's put an order, just like we did yesterday, to try to close it. Looks like I did get filled. Why doesn't it say it? I filled. I probably didn't refresh. So similar trade to Oracle. Did the butterfly on both sides. Spent 50 cents. Dollar Tree is down. So let's see if I can close it maybe for $2.50, the put spread. Sell to close limit Let's do 250. I mean, it's trading at one. What is it trading at? The put spread. At 130, right at the strike price, right at the middle strike price. So let's put a $3. I mean, you have to wait till expiration to get to $3, but maybe. Right, so that's again iron condor, not iron condor, butterflies on each side, because it's been a volatile market, right? If stock does well, beats on top and bottom line, mentions AI, they move 2 standard deviation to the right. If they missed, they move 2 standard deviation to the left, and that's an example of Dollar Tree. So in terms of maximum gain and maximum loss, let me put watch list. Let's do yellow tunnel. Sign in. Let's look at the list. So AIG, General Electric, Johnson & Johnson, and Microsoft. So we can add that to the list. AIG, Johnson & Johnson, Microsoft. And what was the other one? General Electric. General Electric, and we'll add accidental. And that's some mobile from last couple of sessions. Looks like energy continues to grind higher, so maybe it may. All right, so that's the list. And in terms of, again, sorry, I'm going back. So in terms of maximum loss, looking at the spiders, we're at all-time high. That's your overhead resistance. So 520, 518, 520, that's overhead resistance. Support is the, so if you look at the model, yeah, it matches. So 519, 520, 512. 520, 512, which corresponds to basically either we're going to all-time high or we're retracing all the gains from yesterday after the higher, right? It's above 50-day moving average. It's trying to retest 200-day moving average. It's actually briefly jumped above this overhead resistance. Again, tomorrow we have triple witching expiration. Friday we have VIX expiration, weekly expiration this week. This one today. So I still think it makes sense to be cautious, right? Because we know that usually when rates keep going higher, market can pull back. All right. Any questions? So let's watch Dollar Tree for the earnings strategy. And let's ExxonMobil, Johnson & Johnson, AIG, and Microsoft. You do have a breakout in ExxonMobil. So it looks like it's above 200-day moving average, keeps grinding higher. I mean, it could get to 114. Bob, thank you. Puts nicely into TurboTax. Thank you, Bob. All right, market just open. Let's watch these stocks. So let's see, the options trade. Not yet. Okay, so maybe $2. Change it to $2. right, so let's watch dollar tree for now. So the strikes that I have are 125, 130, 135. And in terms of positioning, right, the highest strike is 130, right, that expires today, Friday, March 15th. The highest position right now is at 130. So the theory is that it will gravitate toward 130 because that's where largest open interest is. And we'll see if that's the case or not. Okay, let's see what is the trading at. So we can close it for maybe $1.50. Let's try to change it $1.50. Not the most liquid name. How many shares are being traded? I mean, average volume 2 million shares, so that's why a lot more difficult to get the execution. $1.80. So 50. It's trading about $1.50. It's getting close to $1.50. That's $1.50 maybe closes. I have to do like one leg at a time. So it's been 4 minutes. All right. PDD is up 7%. All right, so NVIDIA is down 2%. Meanwhile, Apple is down slightly. Meta is down 1%. So it looks like Magnificent Seven are giving up some of the gains from yesterday. JD's up another 3%. Thank you, Bob. Nice trade. India, Japan pulling back. Gold is up. GDX is up. Biotech is up, silver is up, XOP is up. Yeah, so we have a large price action in X Energy, IWM. ExxonMobil is higher. So maybe buy, let's see, let's look at ExxonMobil. How much is accidental? So it looks like accidental is breaking out, ExxonMobil is breaking out. So again, if there is a reversal and it closes the gap at 108.50, I don't want to be down more than $100. So that would be my trade. I split it into two, probably potentially holding it overnight. So I risk a dollar to be down only less than 1%. And then I would look for now 0.5% on half of the shares, so it would be 110. 110. What was it? 109. 109.95. And then sell another 25 shares. 1.5%. So 110.90. Right. So 838. Dollars, maybe $1.20. So that's ExxonMobil, and I mean ExxonMobil and Occidental were there on aggressive power trader yesterday. Microsoft is down. Microsoft could be another one, but I think there's a lot of pressure on the Magnificent Seven. Let's see, how's the market doing? Meanwhile, QQQ is down 0.5%, SMH is down 1.5%. Dow is slightly higher. Value stocks up 30 basis points. So it looks like rotation from undoing yesterday's trade. Yesterday, growth stocks were leading. Today, value stocks are outperforming. Utilities are up. Energy is up. Nice. Okay. AT&T is up, Verizon. Okay. Dollar Tree. It's pretty wide. I didn't ask. Okay, let's try $1.30 maybe. It says last sale $1.50. So we can close short for 330 and close for 645. You should be able, yeah. So if you do one leg at a time, you should be able to get filled for that price. Just not the most liquid name, so Butterfly doesn't get filled. So let's just do that. Let's do one leg at a time. Let's see, Dollar Tree. Okay, so let's try to close the short at $3.30. $3. $3.10. Okay. So close the short leg. Now I'm going to try to close the long legs. Let's see, this one is at 610, 615. Okay, 615, 3, so okay, made 15 cents. And then the long leg, 125. So to close at, it's moving away, 0.85. 185. Okay, so it costs us, so I made $1. Yeah, I mean, the stock moved fast, so, but still, right? So I made 15 cents plus $85. Or you can keep it as a spread, and depending on where the execution is, maybe, I mean, some brokerages are better than others when when it requires single execution, but that will be the trade. So very similar to Oracle kind of setup, and it worked out well because I spent, I think, 60 cents. So I made 60 cents. I spent 60 cents and sold it for $1. Okay. Resistance 29, model GJD will take a break. JD, so let's look at JC. So in terms of positioning, let's look at JD. I mean, it did have a strong earnings, and looks like China is in general. Let's look at FX sign. November lows. Let's look at the weekly chart. You definitely see overhead resistance at 25 for FXI. JD is probably one of the better stocks. It's facing overhead resistance at 30, around 30. And then let's see how people are positioning. So in terms of JD, let's see how's everybody positioned. So you do have pretty large positioning at 30 for JD. The next position, April 90, is also positioning at 30. So 30 looks like a very large positioning at JD, basically saying that, you know, we might spend a little bit of time at 30 level, and you probably want to hedge around 30 level. So that would be my thought process. In terms of model, neural network model, it's still kind of negative trend for 10 days. It does see, I mean, potentially to 28. It does see 28 as overhead resistance, 25 support. And then in terms of monthly prediction, well, that, you know, that was before the earnings, right? This was updated on the first of the month. You know, April calls, right? Because it may or may not escape the strike price. 30, maybe 30. One, I mean, you see 3,000 positive banner, right? 3,000 positive banner. So it's a pretty well established position for JD. Consider China is, I mean, I wouldn't call this a bull run, but I would call it as a stabilization, right? And it looks like, at least for now, the worst is over, right? So you have, you have a clearly defined stop level, 21, right? And it could drop 50%, but you know, it could be at 90 in a few years. I mean, I assume it's going to take some time, right? This is a weekly chart, but it could get to 40, right? It could get 40. So a lot of people are bullish, so, you know, that would be my thought process. All right, Dollar Tree. What is going on? Dollar Tree looks like it's going lower. The spread itself is not, but 15 minutes. Let's see other questions. All right, questions. XOP breaking out looks good. Low spreads. Yeah, I think XOP looks like inventory is down today. Oil inventories are down, and you do have a pretty large breakout in XOP. I do agree with that. In terms of positioning on XOP, where would be the next overhead resistance? So this week it expired 150, right? So it looks like 150 strike. Next week is 155. Pretty, yeah, 155, 150. So 155, 150 are your small positioning at 150. A little bit more position at 155. So 150, 155 are the next level of overhead resistance, 150, 155. Doing. So got to 109.88. On 995. Okay, so got close. Okay. Let's review the other positions that I have. So Dollar Tree, I'm out. EWJ, it looks like it's pulling back. So it's good that I put a hedge. It's still in uptrend. but it's approaching the support. So bulls want that support to hold, right? So we did have kind of above average volume pullback, right? We've seen it in a lot of names that were leading the market, whether it's NVIDIA or General Electric. Let's see how's General Electric doing today. It's okay. It's not as bad, but it makes sense to hedge, right? So I do have a hedge on EWJ, put spread, and continue to hold the stock. So no changes in EWJ. NVO. You can see a middle price pattern. It had a better than expected results of the studies on some of their drugs, weight loss drugs. It rallied, staying at that level. I did trim the position, still long NVO. No changes in that position. These are the condors. So QQQ put spread, right? Well, the March one will expire worthless. The 430, 420, I'm still holding it because I want to see how the option expiration will, how NVIDIA will behave, right? We had a kind of a vertical move up. Looks like we gave up maybe half of those gains from yesterday, maybe more, right? So, but it looks like it's building the top, right? Building top, and it could be vulnerable, especially during options expiration and Powell's speech next Wednesday, right? So there are a couple events that still could trigger the market, and for now, yield continues to grind higher, which is not good for bulls. So you can hedge with QQQ, you can hedge with SH. Do have SMH. Let's see, how's the SMH doing? SMH is actually profitable slightly. Okay. So maybe put a order to close SMH for. Let's do QQQ first. That's been a while, so for 320. So I'll put QQQ to close at 320. And then Verizon. We talked about Verizon. March will expire worthless, probably. And it's right on that border. It's getting close to 41. When it got above 50-day moving average, it needs to get above 41. There's still large positioning, so I suppose you could have after PPI data or during the expiration, the first one is 41. 41. There's a large position at 42, but you do have to have some kind of catalyst for Verizon to jump to these levels. And that's it. Minutes. So NVIDIA down 3%, Apple down 1%, Meta, Microsoft. GD is up, Robinhood is up, Verizon. GDX. Right, 904. Any questions? Let's see, what is the spread trading now on Dollar Tree? No, I mean, it hasn't changed. It's still pretty wide. Thank you for participating. That's brilliant. Okay, thank you, Bob. Ted or Zim, figures Zim. Yeah, Zim, it did drop 12%, but that butterfly actually is working well, right? It's the same thing, just like a dollar. Zim and put spread on Dollar Tree, then, you know, this is where you basically put on a trade for 60 cents and close it. It doesn't matter, right? So, dollar, you know, Oracle was trading pennies and a lot more liquid, a lot of bigger position on these strikes, so got filled. Dollar Tree, I had to do one at a time. So it could be one of the checklists, right? Maybe in the future, I'm not going to do, you know, if I don't want to deal with closing one leg at a time and trying to catch, you know, the top and the bottom, then just don't do the, you know, stocks under, you know, 2 million shares or something along those lines. Yeah, but Zim, yeah, so if you FCX Express smashing higher pre-earnings also, yeah, PDD is up, China is heading higher. Victor, is it time to hedge with SH and TLT? TLT, so I closed silver yesterday, I'm going to close the TLT. I mean, there is a large position. I mean, TLT will go higher only if there is some kind of an event, right? Then interest rate will drop and TLT will rally. But assuming there is no major event and this is just option expiration, then I think rates are just going higher. So, I mean, it's been a decent trade. I've been holding this for too long. Probably just close it for now. Okay, so I'm out of actually TLT. Thank you for reminding me. Because the path of least resistance, at least for now, is below 200-day moving average, below 50-day moving average. PPI, I'm going to make a bold assumption, is also going to come in probably a little bit harder than expected. Usually it comes in line with CPI, not always. But I'm more concerned about options, not lowering interest rates anytime soon. You know, now they're talking about instead of 150 basis points, only 100 basis points rate cut. So that could cause rates to jump, right, and TLT to drop. So for that reason, I'm gonna close TLT. So I'm out of TLT. Yeah, execution price are, yeah, you can see pretty, I mean, it's not too wide, but it's still wide enough where it's takes time to close. All right, $3. Let's see. Let's go $3. Looks like it's lower and lower. So if you choose to buy options ExxonMobil instead of stock, buy at the money or consider open interest levels. I would use delta. I mean, because I want to be out at 109.90, right? 95. So I would use delta 70 options. So instead of, if you don't want to trade stock and you want single options, find an options with delta 90, right? Maybe this Friday expiration, maybe next Friday expiration, but delta 70, right? You can go to trade here. Because what that means is for $1 move in ExxonMobil, it will move 70 cents, right? So if I'm going to make $1, you will, on a stock, you will make 70 cents on the option, right? ExxonMobil, assuming that it's going to continue going higher, and delta 70. So you can buy 107, 106 call. I mean, 107 call is 260 cents. You have to look at the extreme. You want to minimize the extrinsic value, right? So 107 plus 268 is 109. So yeah, if you want to hold it for till Friday, then I would just buy delta 95 to 80, and then if I'm looking for 60 cents profit, then you would be looking for 60 times 0.7, 40 cents profit. 40 cents profit. Bob, thank you. Scott, thank you. Okay, that's all I have for today. It's 9:15. Yeah, it looks like a reversal of yesterday's trade, right? Where Microsoft, Meta, Apple are under pressure. Actually, Amazon is up. NVIDIA. And stocks like ExxonMobil and PDD and Chinese stocks, JD, are leading the market. And I assume Coinbase today is. All right, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Scott will do the closing bell. Thank you on YouTube. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you on Discord.